Hi, my name's Steve Critchley. I'm a veteran. I served with the Lord Strathcona's Horse, Royal Canadians. I've got 28 years in uniform, and it was during the latter part of the years when I was getting out, I realized we needed to do something to help our folks. And this eventually would lead to the development in 2012 of Can Praxis, a national veteran-led charity based in Alberta that provides specialized PTSD and education therapy programs for our veterans, their families, as well as our first responder community and their families as well, for the folks who are overcoming an operational stress injury, such as PTSD. We know for a fact, if you've been diagnosed with an operational stress injury, that conflict and crisis is going to become part of your daily life. And with that, we realize that it doesn't have to derail your life. So with our understanding of how to work with PTSD, what this conflict and crisis stems from, we're able to help people relearn how to have at least one effective conversation a day with the person most important to them. For example, their spouse. Because if you can have one effective conversation a day, you can have two. And if you can have two, then you're set up for success. So the focus of our programs is helping people relearn how to have effective conversations a day, understanding the effects that a mental health crisis will bring into your home, as well as the conflict and the challenges of trying to unlearn what the military has taught you. With this, we're using horses. We're using horses for very specific scientific reasons. We're very interested in the neuroscience of what is happening during the engagement of our exercises between the horse and the human and their spouse. With this, we're using horses because just like people, horses require or need social interaction. They want to be part of a social community. If you see a horse standing out in the field all day, every day, all by itself, that's actually punishment. That's more like solitary confinement. So there's some differences between horses and dogs, for example. If a dog loves you, literally you could kick it, beat it, stomp it, and it'll always crawl back to you. A horse, like a relationship, will eventually tell you to take a hike. We're helping people on our programs get to a place mentally, physically, emotionally, where the horse looks at them and says, you know what? You're worth the effort to relearn how to trust. You're worth the effort to relearn how to respect. And that horse will go up to that individual all on its own, without a lead, without a rope, because they see value in that person. And with this, it's understanding that what people take away from the program can be different than what someone else does. That's all right. It's not about someone else. It's all about what helps you understand what's the difference between a good conversation or a contest. And this also includes, on the program, helping people understand sometimes the best conversation is nothing at all. In other words, there are times where people just need to go to their safe place, de-escalate before they're prepared to have a conversation. Our program is helping folks understand how this injury is affecting them, the person that's most important to them, and that you don't live in isolation. This is a family affair, this injury, and the ripples of this injury affect all members of the family. That is why we're looking at helping families with our family program as well, where participants return with their kids from the ages of 8 to 24. With this, it's understanding on our programs that we're not worried or focused on what happens in the past, whether it's in your own life, the family home, etc. For us, it's understanding where are you at now and where do you need to go in the future. And with this, we help people refocus on relearning and recognizing the small positives they have in their everyday life. Nobody's life turns out the way they expect in the big picture. And so with this, it's helpful to be able to relearn how to recognize the small positives and to make small steps forward in your everyday life. If that means you got out of bed all by yourself and put your pants on all by yourself, so be it. That's a small success, that's a victory, and that's exactly what we're looking for. And with this, we've been using and continue to use highly qualified, trauma-experienced, registered psychologists as a therapist. We now have 5 psychologists on our team. Along with this, understanding why the program is effective is just as important as well. And that's why our team also includes 5 PhD researchers. We're into this because we really want to understand why our programs are effective and how do we keep maintaining that effectiveness moving forward. And with this, it's also the understanding that while there's a lot of similarities between the military and veterans, that the cultures are different. And for us, respecting cultures is important. So that's why 1 month on this veteran-led program, 1 month will be a veterans program. The following month, that program will be for first responders. And it's important to recognize these differences and help people heal within their own communities and within their own cultures. With this, anyone who's encountered this injury on the job will recognize the importance of being in a safe place where they get the opportunity to examine further how the injury is affecting them personally, and that there is hope. And hope, yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. No, it's not an oncoming train. The reality is that hope is there and it's real. So as we move forward, gaining better insights and understanding on how this injury affects people, their families, and the community at large, your support and your participation is always greatly appreciated. We're always looking for folks that want to be able to spread the word and create the awareness that there is real hope available for them on our 3-day Phase 1 program, where all costs are covered, including flights, and in hardship situations, we've helped with childcare as well. It's also important to recognize that we have the family program, where participants, you can return with your kids between the ages of 8 and 24. And these programs, once again, thanks to our donors, supporters, and sponsors, are available at no cost. And we understand that what you can take away from the program can be different than what someone else does. That's fine. This injury is difficult in the way that it affects different people differently, so we're prepared to have different outcomes that meet the expectations and hopes and desires and needs of our injured men and women in uniform and their families. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate any and all support. Take care.